Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the freedailycoaching.com call this morning. I am Felicia Mupo. For those of y'all who maybe we haven't had a chance to meet yet, Bert Bledsoe is celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday to Bert Bledsoe. He is currently driving back from Denver, where I understand he had a great night last night of dinner and concerts and things with his wife and friends. He's driving back to Colorado Springs, where he will be hopefully in the next hour or so if you want to reach him. But his lovely face, I don't think, is going to be greeting us today. So Christina and I are going to take over the freedailycoaching.com call for you this morning, and Christina is going to share a wealth of information. So she gets to take over in just a moment. But wanted to welcome everybody to the call this morning. Since I'm filling in for Bert, I'm taking a little bit of Bert's energy here and moving outside. So this is the first time that I've ever sat outside for the free daily coaching call. But I know Bert now is doing it just about every day, and it sure is nice to be able to have that flexibility. But with that, I want to tell you again, that it's Bert's birthday, so if you haven't done so already, be sure and visit his social media pages, wish him a happy birthday, fill up his voicemail messages and text messages with well wishes, and we will see him again tomorrow. And with that, Christina Ervin is going to be sharing with us this morning. I think she's going to cover a little bit of mindset and getting in the right groove, so that way you know how to move your business forward and without the expectation of a manager or supervisor and that employee mindset. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Christina, and y'all have fun.
Thank you very much, Felicia. I really appreciate it. And good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you very much, Bert, for giving me this opportunity, and happy birthday to you. I'm glad you had a good time last night. And really this morning, guys, what we're going to do is just talk a little bit about mindset shift, because I personally have a belief that there's a mindset shift between, being an employee, then, to going into a business owner, and then even a mindset shift from a business owner to an entrepreneur. So this morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go kind of quick because I know we don't have a lot of time. And for the sake of knowing my own story, what I'm going to do is utilize myself as sort of the guinea pig, right? What I want you to do is, as I'm going through my situation or my story, I want you to put yourself, I want you to think about where you were at approximately that time in your life and how you were feeling. And then at the end, I'll kind of wrap it up with a little bow. I like to have a little interaction, so I'll probably pop out some questions from time to time, okay? So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get started. You just let me know when you can see my screenshot.
All right, we're seeing you right now.
Well.
Oops, we had it for a sec.
You got me now?
I've got you right now. It looked like it turned on and maybe turned right back off again.
Okay.
There we go. We're on the screen share now. Whoop. Try going. You're good.
Okay. So you can see my PowerPoint now?
I sure can.
Great. All right, guys, so here we go. So, like I said, we're going to talk about shifting your mindset from employee to business owner and to an entrepreneur, okay? And what I'm going to do is just give you a little bit of backstory about me. For those of you who have not had an opportunity to be on a webinar with me or maybe interact with me, I actually was born and raised in Middle Tennessee, in a little town about an hour and a half east of the country music capital of Nashville. And I currently reside in Northeast Tennessee, in a little town about 45 minutes away from my undergraduate alma mater of East Tennessee State University, where I earned a 4-year Division I basketball scholarship. That's me right there in the picture. I'm getting ready to go crash the boards in this picture. So what I really want to do is give you a little bit of back history on me, and then like I said, I'll kind of tie it up in a bow towards the end. So why is that really relevant to my story? Because I think there's a difference with a person who has a strong mindset, but then there's no actual shift. And for me, I think the shift from the employee is actually the key. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about strong mindset versus an employee shift. You see, I actually graduated in 4 years. I double majored in undergraduate in 4 years, and I volunteered in the community. I was on the Student Athletic Advisory Committee, Race Relations Committee. I actually held several positions in my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and I did all of this while playing basketball in college. And for those of you who follow or don't follow sports, and college sports in particular, basketball is that one sport where when you come in the fall, you're already in preseason, and then you go into the season, regular season, and then when everybody's gone home for Christmas, you're still on campus playing in tournaments during Christmas, and then spring break, you may miss that if you have a good season, and then there's just the off-season workouts too. So you really never have a downtime. I wanted to give you an idea and understanding that a person has to have a pretty good mindset to be able to do all that, right? So in your security, okay? See, because we all were raised with parents and friends of the family and aunties and uncles who all said, go to school, get a good education so that you can get a good paying job with good benefits in corporate America, and that's the right way to go, right? That's the reality that they were able to live with. But increasingly that's not the reality. It certainly, I feel like my generation was probably the last generation where there was a kind of a chance at that. These millennials and that come after those that come after definitely don't have that much of an opportunity with that, with the job climate today, right? So I tell you all of this because I actually had a point in my life where in my early 20s I had actually done some network marketing before. I'd actually been in 2 different companies prior to my current primary business opportunity. And I actually loved those companies. They were great companies, and actually to this day I utilize the product and the service that I marketed at that time. So much so that I even tout the services and the products today in such a way that you would think that I was currently a distributor for those companies. That's how much I love the product. That's how much I love those companies. But what happened to me in my early 20s is that I came to a crossroad, okay, where I had graduated from college. I decided I got an entry-level position in corporate America, and there was the point of feeling like I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Always had that sort of churning, but I had that thing in my ear saying you should get a good secure job, something that's definite and safe, something you're going to get a check, versus this network marketing company. So in those companies, they very much focused on personal development, reading, Robert Kiyosaki, Jim Rohn, Dennis Waitley, and all those, and I was plugged in. I thought, this mindset thing, I don't have any problems with it. I mean, the company was supportive. It emphasized personal development. I was certainly plugged in with personal development, but I mean, really, I already had a strong mindset. Look at all of my accomplishments. I mean, look at all the things that I was able to accomplish at a young age with nobody saying you have to do this or you have to do that. I got a lot of stuff done. I did a lot of extra stuff just to get through college voluntarily that most students don't do. So this mindset thing, that's a bunch of crock. I've got this, right? I don't need any extra help with mindset. I've got a strong mindset. And then I now recognize that, and everybody has their own different beliefs. But for me, my personal beliefs is that the Lord blessed me with an opportunity to get a peek into what it's like to be a business owner, what it's like to be an entrepreneur, so that I can now appreciate the opportunity that I have. Because at that time in my early 20s, I made the choice. I made the choice to go on and go with corporate America because that was the safe thing. So let's talk about insanity for a moment. What does insanity have to do with anything? Well, as you remember, insanity is that old saying, doing the same things over and over but expecting a different result. And why does that apply? I want you guys to think about where you were in your when you first thought about being a business owner, where you were in your life. Can you think? Can you remember what you felt, the things that you felt, the excitement that you felt, but the fear, the anxiety? Maybe you had just started a family and you had mouths to feed, and that whole roller coaster of not knowing for sure when you're going to get a check kind of was tugging on you. Do you recognize that feeling? Can anybody identify with me? See, that's one of those things that I got to thinking about. So what did I do? Well, corporate America security, I'm going to roll with it. That's what I did. So I went back to school and I got my MBA, and I was doing that while I was actually working 40 to 60 hours a week in corporate America. Now, I got a couple of promotions, and but no really significant money, but so I decided, let me go back to school. Let me get some more education, because more education means more security, and more security means better pay, and better pay means my life is going to be good, right? So I went back to school. I got a second master's degree, again, all while working 40 to 60 hours a week. You see my trend? So then I got a little bit more responsibility, but no significant money, no big promotions. So what did I do again? I went back to school and I got a certificate, because this is what I really needed. I needed a targeted, specialized education. So I thought, I'll go get a certificate and this, and everything will work out well. I'll get the money. I'll get the promotions. I'm good. But guess what? I still got no significant money or promotions. Does this sound familiar? Did any of you go through that? Maybe you're watching me on Google Plus right now. Maybe you're watching on the YouTube feed. Maybe you're watching on a recording. Think back. I mean, how did you continue to give up on, and not maybe give up, but kind of suppress that feeling that you had to work for yourself in order to stick with that secure, safe thing that you knew? That's that employee mindset. I mean, when you think about it, as an employee, you get to abandon all responsibility for big decisions. Maybe unless you're in management level, but still, that ultimate big responsibility for decisions, it's not yours, it's someone else's. You get to come in, you punch a clock, you work your 9 to 5. Somebody will tell you about when in the morning you can have a little 10, 15-minute break. Somebody will tell you about when in the middle of the day you can have a 30-minute to an hour lunch. Somebody will tell you when in the afternoon you can have another 10 to 15-minute break, right? Maybe if you have to go to the restroom somewhere in between there, you can ask permission, you can go use the restroom. But you don't have to have any responsibility. Basically, you go do this task, you get a definite check every Friday or every other Friday, or at least one Friday a month, you're going to get a check, right? That's what we mostly all come from. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, you heard me right. That's what I went through. That's what you went through. That's what maybe you're still kind of going through. That's that mindset that you're still possibly in, right? Well, let me tell you, for me, it was the wrong answer. Okay? Now, please understand that I'm not saying anything disparaging against a job or working in corporate America, because by all means, I absolutely recognize that I have been very blessed. I'm very thankful to have had a job when so many people haven't had a job. I'm very thankful to be able to get by when so many people are struggling to get by. But that ultimate feeling of this is where I should be, that's not what I felt. How about you? Is that what you feel right now? Is that what you felt in your journey? So I'm going to bring you now to my breakthrough. See that shift to a business owner. And let's talk about whether or not you're there, or whether you're on the cusp of that breakthrough. You see, for me, I recognized that I was grinding away for someone else's dreams. I get up every day, I go to work, I drive to work, and I'd be miserable, and then I'd be spending the whole day at work praying away all the hours. See, that's that mindset shift. You got to have that security, but good Lord, you're not happy. I was praying away all those hours. Inevitably, sometime throughout the day, tears would come streaming out my eyes just out of nowhere because I was that miserable. Does anybody else recognize that? I mean, have you ever felt that way? Have you ever just been sick to your stomach? It is even hard to get the task done because you are so at that point where you just don't, the check doesn't even matter to you anymore. You have those days where you're like, I don't really care about this check. You see, that's that churning. That's where that business mindset, you're at the cusp of your breakthrough right now. So if you're at that point, don't give up because you're right there at that mindset shift that's necessary to take you to the next level. Okay? Don't give up because you're right there. So what's a business owner mindset? You know, it's that ability to determine your own worth. That point when you're like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of somebody else telling me that this is what I'm worth, that I'm worth $12.50 an hour, or I'm worth $20 an hour, or I'm worth $50 an hour. I'm sick and tired of somebody telling me that. I'm sick and tired of somebody telling me, you know what? This is the highest rating you can get on your performance evaluation, but I'm only going to give you a 1% raise or a 3% raise, when the cost of living is much more than that. That's what a business owner mindset is. When you get to that point where you're sick and tired of somebody else determining your worth and you want to determine your own worth. When you work, when you decide that I want to fit my work around my life rather than trying to fit my life around my work. I want to be present for my family. I want to be able to go on vacations with my family. If my kids got a function at school, I want to be able to be that parent that goes to school with my kid. See, when you have that business owner mindset, you shift from that whole being tied to having to have that security of what you feel like is safe, because it's a false sense of security. Trust me, working in corporate America, in the last 12 years, I don't know of a year that went by that I wasn't afraid that my job was going to go overseas, because so many people around me, all of a sudden their jobs just got discontinued. Being a business owner, having that mindset means you have these fulfilling rewards. You know that reward that you get when you talk to somebody that's on your team, you bring somebody in the business and they have a small breakthrough and you were part of that. You helped them get to that point. That fulfilling reward, because it's not all about money. While yes, it's important, it's not all about money. It's that the joy that you get when you see someone else reach a milestone and you get to celebrate with them. That's that business owner mindset. When you yearn to form those great relationships with people all around the world that you may probably never even get to meet in person, but you have such a connection with them that you've met them online, you've done a lot of business together, you talk to each other every other day or so. That awesome relationship that takes you out of a small world of just your neighborhood and maybe your little town there, and it's infinite. I mean, you can go anywhere. That's that business owner mindset. That's that thing that you love. That's what drives you. That's what makes you excited, right? That's that thing that makes you think, that whole employee mindset. That employee, being an employee, wasn't all it was cracked up to be. I got sick and tired of seeing the same people every day. It's the passion, guys. Think with me for a minute. It's that passion that you get when you provide hope and you help make dreams come true for other people. Do you recognize that? I mean, do you recognize how you feel? That's what that business owner mindset is. That business owner mindset is you want to make sure that you can do that for as many people as possible. At that point, it's bigger than just money for you. It's making dreams come true for other people. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Are you with me? So then let's talk about what a continued shift is, because now we've moved from that business owner mindset, or from the employee mindset, to that business owner mindset. Now, please recognize that it's not always going to be here or there. In my mind, I kind of think that mindset shift is on a kind of a sliding scale, if you will. You may actually be in the middle on your journey, right? You might not actually be totally in that 100% business owner mindset, but you're definitely not at the employee mindset. You've shifted. You're right there at your breakthrough on that business owner mindset. Let's go ahead and say you're there because you've shifted, okay? And sometimes you may actually fall back in there. Now I'm going to put a bow on this for you because what does that mean? I wanted to bring this topic to you today because I recognize in myself, I was a person who's always had a strong mindset. I've always overcome a lot of hurdles and a lot of challenges, and I've reached a lot of successes and a lot of milestones. I had a great mindset, but I didn't understand the shift from that employee mindset where I felt I needed that security. And that's why I wanted to bring this to you today, because maybe you're in that place yourself, or maybe you're personally working with somebody who on your team who's in that place. You see, I think that there's different kinds, I know that there's different kinds of leadership. And I by no means think that you need to drag someone along, convince them, or beg them. You can't want it more than they want it. But maybe you have that person who has a strong mindset. They have a strong work ethic. You know they're going to put forth some action. They're ready to overcome their fears. But they kind of need a GPS, you know? They need some kind of direction to put them on that right path to shifting to what a business owner thinks. Did I have any ahas right there? Did that kind of,
Yeah, you're getting some great feedback, Christina. So I know Patty and Nancy are definitely with you and posting a lot of comments along the way. So you're hitting some feelings there.
Fantastic. That's what I want. I want you to recognize that you can be anywhere on that, because guess what? Once you get to that business owner, you're not done. Because when you're at the business owner point, here's the thing. You start to think about those things, that ultimate responsibility, especially if you happen to be in network marketing or MLM, direct sales, something like that. Yeah, you've got a team, but it's kind of just you. Or if you're a sole proprietor with a brick and mortar, yeah, you've opened that business and you might have some employees and you might have your family rooting you on, but ultimately it's just you. People's livelihoods are falling on you. People are looking for you to be their leader. And then you got to figure that out. So when you take on that business owner mindset, at that point you've identified a why. It's a big why, whether it be your family or your kids or some kind of philanthropy or something. You've identified a big why. You have, hopefully you've done a dream board, or you have it somewhere where you can constantly see it, right? At that point, you also are thinking about, I got to invest in me. I got to grow me. I got to invest in my business. But you still have a little bit of that employee mindset because you're still feeling insecure about spending the money to invest in you. You're like, I don't know if I should pull the trigger on this because something's going to come up and I might want to have that money just in case, or something like that. You see, as I've come through my breakthrough in my business owner mindset, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm on that entrepreneurial mindset because there's a difference. And let me just kind of break down the difference for you, because in your business owner mindset, you understand that there's a bigger why that you're working towards. You understand that you've got to invest in your personal growth, and you've got to invest in your business to grow your business. Just like if you open a brick and mortar, maybe you have to do some updates physically to the business or to the building or something, right? So you understand that. But what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? I mean, heck, that's just another word for business owner. In my mind, it's a bigger concept, because as an entrepreneur, you have a vision. All caps, guys. Now you start to see that vision. Now you start to see that you Inc. That those of you who are in My Lead System Pro, you understand what they mean when they say you Inc. You start to understand that every move you make is about your brand, and does it fit under your umbrella and under the brand that you envision for yourself. And your vision, your why, everything starts to build on itself. You start to build on top of it, and you start to take those steps that goes with it. That's what I mean by that shift, because now you have that vision. And while you might not all have all the mechanics of it, you eat, sleep, and breathe that vision. I mean, you can't even rest because you see so much more than what you first did when you first became a business owner. You were just going through the motions and you were getting it done because somebody said every day you needed to talk to 5 people, and every day you needed to call 10 people, and every week you needed to have 20 appointments. But now you're starting to recognize I don't even need anybody to tell me that because I got this vision, and those things are going to be the things that gets me there. Now, as you start to think like an entrepreneur, it's not, oh, do I invest in myself or can I afford this? It's how. The question is always, how can I do this? For myself personally, I say I don't have a big budget to work with, and I don't have a lot of time, but most importantly, I don't have a big budget. But I tell you what I do have. I do have the ability to take the training that I have, turn it into some action, get some results, and tell some people about it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm really good at that good word of mouth. If I feel passionate about something, you're going to know it. And guess what? All these trainings these days come with affiliate options. So I can get my training paid for if I just tell some folks about it. That's the how mentality that you get when you become an entrepreneur, right? You start to say, is this going to build my brand? That training right there, is this personal development? Is this live event? Is this going to build me, Inc? And if so, how am I going to do it? Okay, so guys, look, those of you who have been plugged into me throughout, the last few months or whatever, you might recognize that inevitably I'm always doing some kind of mindset when it comes to an audio recording. Inevitably, there's going to be some kind of mindset come in because it's just something that I so believe in. You might not have listened to all of those audios that I've put out or whatever, and maybe you want to reach out to me and you want to get those audios from me, and you want to continue to get the mindset things that I pull out. Maybe you want to plug into my fan page on Facebook or Google Plus, because right now my blog is currently under construction, guys. But you can always reach me on Facebook and Google Plus, or you can send me an email to my personal email that I check every day at Christina Ervin at cebizsolutions.com. Maybe you want to get those audios from me so that you can plug in your MP3 and you can listen to it as you go throughout your day. Maybe you want to plug into the morning mindset checks that I put on my fan page and my Google Plus in the mornings. Sometimes it's motivational, sometimes it's just a quote, sometimes it's a check yourself kind of thing. Don't hesitate to contact me. Here's my contact information, and I look forward to talking to you and connecting with you. Okay. So let me just pop over back here to the chat for a moment. Okay, can you guys see me?
We can.
Good
And
deal,
I think
good
that
deal.
was great, Christina. I mean, I like the distinction that you made between just having a solid mindset and having that business owner entrepreneurial mindset. I really connected with you right there because a lot of times people do hear, well, you need to have a strong mindset, and they're working on making sure that they are a strong person, which many of us, by default, we are strong people because we've chosen to take this journey anyway.
Right.
So the mindset path kind of stops there because they're like, I got it. I know I'm worth it. I know I'm good. I know I have stuff to share. But it kind of falls off before it gets to the point, like you said, about having an actual business owner mindset on top of just knowing that you're personally good, but what you need to do to build the business. So I really like the distinction that you made there.
Right, I appreciate it. And I really want to drive home the point, guys, because I know we got to get over to another call. Those of us who are in My Lead System Pro, and even if you're not in My Lead System Pro, this is a free morning mindset call that everybody is welcome to join, and we'll get you that information if you want to get to it. But let me tell you, it's important to recognize that you have that shift because most of us come from environments where we didn't get to see, so we can't model what it's like to be an entrepreneur. So when we first bring somebody in the business and we say, plug into this, read these books, listen to these audios, make yourself a mobile university, there's no connection there. So it's kind of like a mindless, I'm going through these actions, but I don't understand. I can't connect to why I'm doing that. Okay? So anyway, what we're going to do now, guys, tonight, Wednesday night, is Wednesday night. So we know we have Ray Higdon, let me tell you, this man has grown a huge following, one of the most responsive followings in this space today. Not only that, but he has got one of the biggest, most monetized blogs in this space today. So you want to plug into him tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think what we're going to do is redirect everybody over to how you can get registered for that webinar. You want to be on that webinar. Make sure and communicate it to all your family and friends and everybody that's on your friends, okay? And any questions or anything before I go? Did anybody have any other questions before I go? No, we have a little bit.
Christina, well, let me take this moment while people get a chance to pop anything in there if they have any last-minute questions. Ray Higdon, just to let you know, is one of my personal mentors. So I am working very, very closely with him. For those of y'all who don't know, I am part of his Platinum Mastermind program. Just to give you an idea, just the ante to play the game in that Platinum Mastermind starts at $12,000. So that's for an annual on the Platinum. It goes up from there, up in excess of pushing $60,000. So there's one program that he has that's in the range of $50-something thousand. But, you know, then you pay and you have the opportunity to be there with him in person. And people are joining that Platinum Mastermind as well as his Diamond Mastermind, person after person after person, not only one time, but they're joining it multiple times, making sure that they're at all of the events that he's hosting or that he's has a significant part in, and then also being in person at the I can't even remember what it's called right now, but we're booking one in October where we're going to go and spend some intimate time with Ray and Jessica Higdon there in Florida to get some one-on-one time with them. As part of this Platinum Mastermind. So just to let you know, that's the type of information that's going to be shared on the call tonight, stuff that people are seeing value enough to spend in excess of $50,000 a year to have some one-on-one time with you with him, and he's delivering that to you tonight for free as part of My Lead System Pro. So whether you're a member of My Lead System Pro or not, it will be well worth your investment of an hour or two to get the information that he's going to share with you and to have a pen and paper ready. So with that, we're, like Christina said, I don't know if you see any other notes or questions over there, Christina, but if not, we're going to direct you right over to the registration page and let you get registered for that, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. But
absolutely, guys. If you got some value out of that, please pop over on my G Plus page or on my fan page on Facebook and show me a little love, okay? Thanks, guys, for showing up. Thank you, Felicia.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.